We're very excited to see what ideas are out there, what technologies are out there, and what possibilities are going to open up. And a lot of these are hopefully going to be some of the prize winners tonight. Steven, darf ich dich interviewen? Yes, we're live. Sorry. Hey, this is Steven Gätjen. He's the host tonight.
Yes, I am the host tonight.
Are you excited?
As always, I'm excited. I don't think there's one event or one show that I'm working on that I'm not excited about. And you know what it's like. It's even though you've done it for a couple of years, it's still something worth being excited about. And I think tonight is very special because this is a topic that we all need to focus on.
That's exactly what I just said. I said I'm so glad these awards are there because we are actually facing one of the biggest crises of humanity and we really have to get going. What is something that you're hoping for in the future to make your life or, you know, the problems you see containing sustainability easier? Like, is there something where you're like, you know, especially in this sector, I just really hope that some changes are being made. I'm really hopeful or I'm really desperate for some changes to happen?
No, I think that as a society, we need to go through some changes. I think the most important thing is that everyone is aware of the problems that we are facing in the next couple of weeks, months, and years. And I think it's not about one subject that we need to change or one part of society. I think it's just creating awareness, and I think it's important that everyone realizes that everyone can do something in their own kind of living space. It's not always trying to solve the big problems, but it's trying to start with something and then it grows into something bigger. I think that is the most important thing, and I think that's what we need to work on because there's still so many people out there who sort of neglect the fact that, as you've been saying it, I mean, we're standing out here in Berlin and it's 37 degrees Celsius mid-June. I mean, we had some hot days, but I mean, you can't close your eyes and not think about the climate catastrophe that we're heading towards. So I think it starts with a little spark and hopefully grows into a huge fire. And then in the end, I'm staying optimistic. I think that we can all together change something.
You do a lot in the movie business. I actually just hosted the first sustainability award for green productions, which I thought was amazing. So things are happening there too. Do you actually see some of these changes also, you know, in your field, kind of in the fields where you're working?
Yeah, definitely. I think especially in TV productions, we have to be aware of the fact that we do not need to travel far away with a huge crew to Thailand, to Australia, to create great content. I think you can do it in front of your doorstep. I think it's just about, looking for the right stories to tell. And I think you do not need to fly all the time. Getting to the airport 2 hours prior to your flight, then waiting for your luggage another 2 hours, and then the flight is another hour and a half. So altogether, you could have easily used the train and gone by train to Cologne or Munich. I think, as I said, I think it's the small things that make the greatest impact.
I'm going to let you run in 1 second, but I think one of the big topics also is especially...
I have another hour and a half.
Oh, good. Very good. No, but for an award like this, I mean, greenwashing is also a huge topic. I mean, there's companies here where you're kind of like shrugging and you're thinking, really? Like what? And I think it's very important to get everybody on board. At the same time, we really, it's kind of, at the moment, we're at a situation where you want to get people on board at the same time. It's kind of a weird in-between because there's people who are super correct, then there's people who are barely doing anything, and especially big companies. How do you think, or what is your personal opinion, how to get this whole movement started? You keep saying like a small spark can do something big, but I mean the fact is that we have to get politics and big companies on board because of all the traffic we have in Germany. It's kind of like if you look at some of the emissions and then you look at, I don't know,
I think you've completely hit the spot. I think that the biggest problem is that we sometimes do not question the intentions of certain companies and of certain things that they're about to do. I mean, you just mentioned greenwashing. I think there are a couple of companies out there who pretend that they're green, but in the end, they're not green at all. But they just have the money and the marketing power to make people believe in what they talk about and what they see. I think politicians sometimes use their power in the wrong way. I think sometimes they do not listen to us. the people who voted for them. And I think that politics are just really complicated field, and I think it's sometimes frustrating if you look at what they've done in the past and what they're heading for. I think it's scary to see that old white men such as Bolsonaro or Trump or Boris Johnson are still at the reins and have so much power to influence so much worldwide, that I'm really frustrated, because I see society at a completely different level. If you talk about the whole community change that's happening at the moment, and I sometimes think that the politicians are still stuck in the 80s or in the 70s.
Well, I think a lot of it is you've got all the lobbyism going on.
Yeah, money makes the world go round. I think it's an old phrase, but it still counts for a lot of things. I think that we as a society need to be pushier. I think we need to go on the streets more often. I think we need to make our voices be heard in a different way. And I think we need to use social media as a power tool as well. But, the interesting bit is, if you look at the generations, the people around their 20s, they're so much more aware of what's going on. I think it's us. I mean, I'm hitting 50 this year. I think it's us who need to change the attitude towards a couple of things. I think we can learn from each other in a lot of... I think that in the end, politicians should just do what we want them to do instead of tell us what to do. You know what I'm saying? It might sound complicated, but I think we need to make our influence heard, and we need to use our power.
And I completely agree. And I think we're at a weird, point at the moment, because the awareness in a large part of society is there, but we have to get from this talking about it. Now everybody's talking about it, or I feel like at least people are talking about it, and we now have to get into the acting part and into maybe really changing some fundamental system changes, concerning energy, concerning, to really get things rolling. Because I feel like now most people talk about it nonstop. Companies are still half-half, but we're not really getting into the action of the whole thing.
No, I think, if you look at, for example, the Bundestag or Bundesrat, how many people are basically trying to negotiate certain deals, certain rules, certain laws, and it makes sense that there are way too many people talking about certain subjects. So I think it has been blown out of proportion. I think it needs to be smaller, it needs to be more effective, and it needs to listen to different generations. I think it's important that it's not only the 60-year-old, but also the 20-year-olds who can make their voice be heard and basically talk about what concerns them. You have a different attitude if you're 60 and you think about your life and you say, okay, 2 more decades, I've seen it all, I can relax and I just wait for whatever happens. But the 20-year-old just graduated from high school, they're really keen on living their life, being able to fly to Ibiza or whatever and have a great time. But they want to live, and I think that's what sometimes is missing if politicians, men and women and diverse people, talk about certain things that are infecting our future, and I think that needs to change.
Thank you.
It's an interesting question and something that is sometimes frustrating, but I'm still trying to be optimistic.
Well, I think we have to be. The only hope we have is to get going now and actually to charge forward. And I think you have to take the frustration energy into motion.
Exactly, and use it for positive power.
Yes. Thank you very much for being here tonight and for doing this. Bye, take care. That was Steven Gätjen, our host of the night. And I see a lot of top models behind me. These are Germany's next top model, the girls. They've all come here as well, which I think is a good sign, because that shows, young people and also people who are used to carpets and who have a lot of reach with everybody. They're here, and they're also think this is important enough to dress up, to come here, and to actually listen to what people are going to say on stage. I'm going to try and talk to some of them in a second. We'll see if they come. I'm sorry that I keep putting the cards up, but it's super sunny, so I'm trying to keep my eyes open. The sun is going to go down in, I think, half an hour or so, then it's going to be easier. But at the moment, you're going to have to live with the fact that I keep holding those cards up. I hope you can still see my face and that it works out as a picture. Kann ich ein paar von euch interviewen? Das wäre super. It's going to be in English, if that's okay.
It's fine.
Perfect.
We can speak more.
Very good. This is the camera, so stay with me. These are the Green Awards. Why are you here? Like, is it important to you, this whole topic?
I think the nature is a big topic, and we should all be able to watch our nature. And it's important for everyone. It's important for us to be here. It's important for the people outside to know what is in our nature, what happens to our greens, and
Yeah, I think it's also really exciting to see what people could do. Like, I was never at such an event, and I think I'm really looking forward to what are we going to see today. I'm hoping for stuff that really helps the environment, stuff that brings us forward, and yes, I'm just happy I can be here.
Cool. And that's kind of what it is about, because it's amazing innovations, and it's always hard to get the publicity for them. And I think that's why it's so amazing that all of you are here, because we are trying to get it out there. We're trying to get young people on board, people who might not even be from the industry or like techies as such. So thank you for being here. Can I ask you quick fire questions? I'll always say yes or no, and you just tell me like, okay, so the first thing would be nature or technology?
I think I'm more into technology.
Nature, if I get what the topic is.
Digital or detox?
Detox.
Detox, yes, definitely.
Pre-loved or brand new?
Pre-loved.
Pre-loved.
Are your dresses pre-loved? No.
Also brand new. Yeah. No, I think I'm more into brand new, but brand new good. Not Zara, H&M, like this. Brand new good and just some pieces. I think that's good.
Okay. Dreamer or realist?
I think both. Dreamer and a realist.
Dreams that are realistic.
Action or peace?
Peace.
Action.
Solo or team? Are you a team player or solo?
Could be both.
Yeah.
Could be both. So.
Yeah, I think it's difficult to say it. It comes with the situation.
And then planet Earth or outer space?
Out of space.
Really? Planet Earth. Perfect.
Thank you very much. And I hope you have a wonderful night. And I hope that you take some ideas with you and also have some ideas of the new innovations that are really coming.
Yeah, we're so excited.
Cool. Thank you very much for being here. Thanks. Bye. So as you can see, the younger generations, some girls from the top models, they're all here as well. They want to learn what is happening, what is going on, and we really hope to connect them with some of the new ideas, with maybe some of the startups, but also, you know, this, as I said before, this is going into agriculture, this is going into finance, so there's something for everybody here, and I highly recommend, if this is one of your topics, to also come to the conference in the next 2 days, because that is where in detail we're going to discuss a lot of the problems and a lot of the ideas we have for the future. I'm going to see who else is here. I'm going to try and get Anna Lou. She's right behind me doing an interview at the moment, so we'll try and grab her. Can we ask you a couple of questions? Yeah. We're live. Here, this is our camera. Okay. It's kind of hard with the sunny.
It is. I know. It's both a blessing and a curse.
That is true.
Right.
But it kind of also brings us right on topic. Climate change, weather changes, all that is happening.
Yes.
How important do you believe awards like this are at the moment?
How do I believe how important they are? Well, I mean, I think this is a great festival. I think this is, the zeitgeist of our day. Not only is it giving a voice to innovators and people who really commit to offering sustainable solutions to address this, this climate looming disaster that we're facing, and also gives us all hope in both the ingenuity and creativity and imagination of humans in general. So, we're in this unique position right now where we're both the instigator of our downfall and the architect of our salvation. So.
And I think that's one of the key topics of our time. We talk a lot. We've been talking a lot. I mean, it's since 15 years that we're talking about climate change, about what we have to do, yada, yada, yada.
Yes.
It still hasn't reached everybody. At the moment, we're kind of riding a wave, or that's what I feel like in Germany at least, where you do have a large part of the population talking about it who are on board. But how do we get from talking to actually acting? Because, I mean, that is obviously the uncomfortable part. That's the part where, we actually have to step up and do some of those things.
Yes. So actually, I have to sort of qualify this because I don't believe that it accurately necessarily represents reality. There are big paradigm shifts that are taking place in the positive, as much as there are still, terrible breakdowns of natural ecosystems, of the movement of hydrology, etc. But to disregard the transformations that are happening in society would be a disservice to not only the efforts that have been made in order to get to that place, and also the commitments of both some elected officials and organizations. So you can pick all the negative stories if you choose to, but it would be a disservice to all the positive stories. 10 years ago, we thought we'd be on par to 4 to 7 degrees C temperature rise by the end of the century. We're now at 2.7 degrees, which is not good, but it's not 4 to 7 degrees. And if people would meet their mandate as presently stated, they would be at about a 2 degrees C, which again would not be ideal. But if you look at where we were 10 years ago at 4 to 7 degrees C and presently at 2 degrees C, I can't help but think, where will we get in? Yeah. No, that's okay.
Just take a step
Yeah. We'll do this here. Yeah. Then I'm thinking, good for you. Should we kick them next time or trip? Yeah.
Sorry, but he looked at you and was like listening, and I was like,
Yeah.
wait.
Good. So look, 10 years ago, we thought we would be literally, sprinting towards catastrophe. Right now, we're inching towards it. But I think if we look at 5 to 10 years from now, we have reasons to be hopeful and to apply the very best that is human, and that is the imagination, the ingenuity, and the wherewithal. We are an engineering and empathetic species, and I think that that's on display even as we speak in this environment here today.
Definitely, and I do think that's why this award is so great, because you do show the innovations. What kind of is to me something which is amazing a lot of the time at this award is that you see these ideas, you see these technologies, and you think, oh my God, this is easy, we can do it. And then the years go by and nothing really continues, kind of thing.
Yeah, again, that's not entirely accurate. The price of of renewable energy is dropping. It's gotten much more competitive, and in many instances, it's more affordable than fossil-based energy. Listen, Paris just recently. Excuse me. There's a camera right there. Sorry. Paris just announced that between 21 and 22, there's been an increase of 13% in bicycle use in Paris alone. This is just one metric. I mean, there's a
I think that's
slew
good.
of those.
Please give us some more. If you do, what are the positive examples at the moment? Like maybe the last one or two that you've read or experienced, where you say, that kind of does give me hope. Because like you say, I think you have to take the positive to give a push and a boost for everybody's morality.
Look, there are as many reasons to be hopeful as there are to be doomsday announcers, and I choose the positive end of the spectrum because that one is progressive in the right direction. Not fast enough, admittedly. There is enormous amounts of effort still to be made. But you look at the automotive. I mean, look at Audi, who's one of the sponsors here today. They have, announced last year that 4 years later, so in 21, they announced by 25 that they will not be developing new combustion engine vehicles. I think that's a huge announcement for a car manufacturer like Audi and puts them essentially in a first-class category, of course, after other who have committed full-time to electric. But in Germany, it's definitely a first in class. And the technology is amazing, the product they're offering is great, and they are focusing, as many fashion companies, in longevity rather than sort of delivering a car that's going to be, switched every 3-4 years, etc. So, I'm sort of hesitant to look at our society as being so irresponsible. It has been. It remains in many sectors, but it's also progressive and hopeful in others, and I think we need to also tell that story.
You travel a lot for your work. You really show things for you just on a personal level from the travels and the work you've done. Yeah. What is something you want to change? What is the biggest thing where you're like, just for me on a personal level of what I've seen, that is where I'm desperately looking for innovations. I really, really hope things are going to change.
Look, I mean, you don't need to go to Antarctica or the Arctic to look at where you want that to change. These days, you just need to look at the front page of newspapers and realize that we have been dragged into a conflict between Russia and Ukraine on the basis of our dependence on fossil fuels. And, just that alone is an indicator that we need to transform our ways. Certainly, it has been a trigger point, perhaps even a tipping point. We're seeing, big changes taking place and big commitments as well to punish the aggressor, which I think is the right thing to do. And in doing so, to wean ourselves off our vulnerability and a dependence on fossil energy. So, where I would like to see an accelerator is in this transition. Again, I think the Russian-Ukraine conflict is taking us to a large extent in that direction, as was COVID. So we've had two big trigger points. And in that respect, I think the train has left the station. It may not be moving at full speed as we wish, but it's definitely moving in the right direction. And many people are left at the station wondering, where did the train go? And I think they'll be feeling it, with their shareholders within just a short few years.
Thank you. I really hope you're right. Okay. And I do believe that there's hope for that. So thank you very much.
Very good.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Take care. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody who knows what they're talking about. He's done amazing work at the Antarctic and seen, what is happening firsthand and really experienced what is going on. So that gives me hope that somebody like that is actually saying, we can make a change. And now I think, Entschuldigung, can I have an interview with you? Hallo.
Aber in Deutsch, bitte.
Wir müssen...
Andreas Höppe mit dazu nehmen.
Ja, klar. Gerne. Please. Can we? Okay, wir dürfen rüber switchen. I'm schwitzing and switching to English. This is our camera, so we're going to open. Wir öffnen uns ein bisschen. Sind es die ersten Green Awards, wo ihr seid?
Für mich schon, für dich nicht.
Doch, ich glaube für mich auch. Nee, die zweiten. Die zweiten, ja, ist ja schon ein paar Jahre her. Zwischendurch ist ja auch ausgefallen.
Nee, letztes Jahr waren es tatsächlich. Trotz Covid haben sie veranstaltet.
Ja, also ich bin so gespannt auf die Preisträger, weil ich finde das so spannend, was die Leute sich einfallen lassen. Es ist so wichtig und so cool irgendwie teilweise, oder?
Also beim letzten Mal waren es einfach ganz tolle Ideen und so. Und ich dachte so, sehr spannend, sowas brauchen wir ganz viel, Innovation und so.
Was wäre denn, einfach euer persönlicher Wunsch in eurem Umfeld? Man hat ja selber immer so Sachen, wo man sagt, oh Gott, da habe ich total Probleme oder ich weiß, dass da bei uns, keine Ahnung, ich habe zum Beispiel in einem alten Bauernhaus eine alte Ölheizung. Ja. Und ich bin gerade die ganze Zeit wie kriege ich diese blöde Ölheizung weg?
Genau, also wir sind bei mir schon dabei, bei mir zu Hause so eine Wallbox, zu installieren im Keller für die Autos. Aber ich möchte unbedingt eine Photovoltaikanlage auf mein Dach. Das wäre toll.
Und das, also glauben Sie, dass das Ihr größter Abdruck ist, also die Energie zu Hause? Ist das, sagen wir mal, wo Sie sagen, hey, da ist wirklich bei uns ein Hauptproblem und wenn ich da endlich die Lösung habe, dann bin ich einen Schritt weiter?
Ja, ich kann nur da anfangen. Also das ist mein erster Schritt natürlich, ja, immer im Kleinen. Ja.
Natürlich, aber das fängt ja auch schon mit Recycling und so, also da gibt es ja immer mehrere Wege.
Es sind ja immer irgendwie die kleinen Schritte, die man erstmal selber machen kann und dann kann man gucken, was an großen Sachen möglich ist.
Ich wollte gerade sagen, aber was sind denn die großen Sachen, die ihr euch wünscht? Also wenn man jetzt einfach mal sagen könnte, was wäre was, wo ihr sagt, Mann, wieso geht es da nicht weiter? Das würde mir, meinem Umfeld, der Problematik, die ich sehe, fände ich das wichtig, dass in diesem Sektor sich jetzt echt mal was bewegt.
Also so verkehrsmäßig und daher umweltmäßig, ich glaube, das ist eines der wichtigsten Themen und da wurde einfach ganz lange Zeit einfach ein bisschen verplempert und das hat lange gedauert und da müssen wir einfach hinterher und da auch wirklich nachhaltige Lösungen uns überlegen und nicht nur welche, die Geld einbringen, sondern dass sie wirklich davon vom Profit jenseits sind.
Gestern haben wir uns darüber unterhalten und Andreas ist ja da voll im Thema. Windkraft natürlich, ja. Windkraft ist super cool, aber du musst natürlich auch die Artenvielfalt schützen, die Vögel schützen. Und da hast du mir gestern erzählt von?
Also, dass ich zum Beispiel, ich habe schon vor 8 Jahren, hat mir ein Amerikaner erzählt, dass mittlerweile schon Windkraftanlagen gibt, die innen drehen, die keine Rotorblätter haben, was sozusagen für alle Zuchtvögel und für Greifvögel und so weiter sehr positiv wäre, weil nicht so viele dabei sterben würden. Und das benutzt man aber nicht, weil es, glaube ich, immer noch ein bisschen aufwendiger und weniger Geld bringt. Und ich glaube, an der Stelle geht es auch darum, einfach mal Sachen zu machen, wo es um die Sache geht und nicht nur immer um den Profit.
Ja, und vor allem auch das ganze Bild zu sehen. Also ich finde gerade dieses Thema, was Sie gerade aufbringen, ich meine, der Witz ist immer, die Leute reden vom Klimawandel und denken, das kann man auseinanderhalten mit dem Thema Biodiversität. Und eigentlich geht das eine ohne das andere nicht. Also wenn wir, sagen wir mal, jetzt gar kein CO2 mehr produzieren, aber die Biodiversität geht runter, haben wir genau dasselbe Problem, weil die Ökosysteme kollabieren und dann haben wir genau dieselben Probleme, wie wenn wir das CO2 drin gelassen hätten.
Wenn wir einfach wieder CO2 haben, deswegen macht man jetzt die Moorrenaturierung, weil da einfach viel zu viel CO2 verloren gegangen ist und in die Umwelt gegangen ist. Und jetzt versucht man es wieder zu binden. Also man versucht Sachen wieder zurückzudrehen.
Aber wie Sie gerade sagen, und dieses Allgemeinbild. Also jetzt auch nicht den großen Wald abholzen, weil dann verlieren wir wieder die ganzen alten Bäume fürs Moor. Also man muss immer so ganzheitlich denken.
Ganz genau.
Und ich glaube, was sehr wichtig ist, dass wir das weltweit machen. Also es nutzt nichts, das punktuell irgendwie versuchen durchzuziehen. Das ist natürlich ein Anfang, sondern dass wir das einfach schaffen, weltweit zu tun. Also weil es wird immer noch so viel Wald abgeholzt, verbrannt und so weiter. Und das ist natürlich erstmal ein Schutz gegen CO2-Überschuss, oder?
Ja, die jetzige Zeit ist natürlich, also wirft uns um so viel zurück, ja, dass wir jetzt wieder anfangen, wahrscheinlich, um Energie überhaupt herzustellen, wieder Holz zu verbrennen. Das geht natürlich gar nicht. Also oder Kohle oder Atomkraftwerke oder so. Da kriegt man schon irgendwie ein trauriges.
Was ich da glaube, ist halt auch, dass man ein bisschen aufpassen muss, dass man nicht diese Zusatzbelastung, die wir jetzt haben, also den Krieg und dann vorher die Covid, irgendwie, dass das dann immer herhalten muss als Argument, dass wir es jetzt doch noch nicht machen können. Und das geht schon so lange, weil ich glaube, wir müssen es tun, weil das eine hilft für das andere, weil das ist die Basis unseres Lebens. Und wenn wir die nicht fördern und nicht erhalten, dann ist egal. Es geht ja nicht nur um uns Menschen. So wichtig sind wir gar nicht.
Nee, und es werden auch nicht, also sagen wir, die Erde hat nicht das Problem, die Menschheit hat das Problem dann. Insofern.
Die Erde hat das Problem, die Menschheit.
Genau.
Das Problem der Menschheit, so rum, ja.
Genau.
Ja, genau.
Ja, vielen Dank, dass Sie heute Abend da sind und ich hoffe, Sie können ganz viel Inspiration mitnehmen.
Ich hoffe ja, mit Sicherheit.
Dankeschön.
Ciao, ciao.
Tschüss. Let's see who else is on the carpet. We're gonna turn around, some more English speakers. Hallo, schön, dass Sie da sind.
Bleib einfach mal stehen, knallhart, ne?
Ihr erster Green Award?
Nee, ich war schon auf 2 davor. Letztes Jahr und vorletztes Jahr, glaube ich.
Und warum kommen Sie zurück? Also
Ich liebe den Green Award. Ich finde es immer wahnsinnig inspirierend. Es ist nicht nur eine gute Veranstaltung an sich, wo man viele spannende Leute kennenlernt, sondern man kriegt auch wirklich was mitgegeben. Und ich habe auch immer das Gefühl, dass ich noch die Tage, Wochen danach darüber nachdenke. Und mir sind noch manche Gewinner auch vom letzten Jahr noch so, oder Nominierte noch vom letzten Jahr so im Kopf. Ich liebe zum Beispiel den Newcomer Award bei den Green Awards. Es ist immer faszinierend, was sich junge Menschen einfallen, ja, die Youngsters, genau, was sie sich einfallen lassen können. Das ist so toll, oder? Oder auch die Startups oder so. Aber ich meine, ja, also ich liebe es. So ein wichtiger und cooler Award.
sehr gut, dann vielen, vielen Dank und ich hoffe, Sie haben einen Abend, der sehr inspiriert.
Da bin ich mir sicher.
Danke, ciao. So, We also have some of the musicians here. And let's see, Jonas Strait is right here next to us. We're going to try and get him for an interview. And I hope we're also going to switch back to English so that everybody can understand. And, oh, I'm turning around. Hi! Do you mind doing an English interview in English? Yes. Exactly. Nice to have you here. How important do you think the Green Awards are, or that there is an award like the Green Awards?
I'm very proud to be here. It's a great day for our organization, and I hope we can invite many people to do the same thing like we, to clean up the rivers.
Perfect. And which is a huge part at the moment.
Yes, it's very important in the moment, and it becomes more important in the next years.
Definitely. You're here together?
Yes, because I'm the ambassador of Rhine Cleanup, and so we would like to use as well your target group, because it's, I would say, really commercial, and it's really good that we can present like side projects like Rhine Cleanup to a wider target. So we are really proud to be nominated here tonight.
Definitely. And what is it's going to be a lot of innovations tonight and a lot of very different sectors, because this takes over all sectors. What is something that you really hope for? I mean, you're working for cleanups here, you're working against plastic, but what are other sectors where you might say, like, maybe we're not so active, but we're really hoping that maybe we get some ideas, or we see some people, we're acting on this way, we hope somebody else is acting there?
I hope that the people found a way to get freedom and get peace. That's in the moment the most important thing, I think.
I'm really interested in innovations, how to avoid plastic in general. I think it's really important as a topic for us as well, because we collect the plastic other people throw around the riverside. So I'm really interested in how to avoid plastic material, or generally how to avoid any material. Like there's a no plastic bar shampoo, so you only have like a shampoo without any plastic or anything around it. So I'm really interested in this. Yeah.
Thank you very much for taking your popularity to make projects like this big, and thank you so much for taking action. I think that is the word of the hour, because we talk a lot, and a lot of people talk a lot and they don't take action. So thank you for being active and doing something.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, perfect.
Hi.
Very good. Können wir
Hi.
auch Englisch?
Können wir machen, klar.
Sehr gut. Hier ist unsere Kamera.
Ja.
So we're talking English today,
Okay.
so that everybody understands us. First Green Awards.
No, we played with a whole band. I think we just talked about it. I think it was 10 years ago or something, maybe 8 years ago. Not sure, but I could Google it.
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, it's been 15 years today, and I think it started 2008. So it's been a while.
Yeah, I think it was one of the first ones, and it's so good to see that it grows so much, and that so many people are involved in this beautiful thing and work for this good case.
What are some innovations you're hoping for? Is there maybe a sector where you say, like, oh my God, can people please get going? Or
Yes, I mean, I was in the jury. I saw hundreds of like innovations and projects, and I mean, from tiny little projects from India, so to I saw one project was pretty impressive. There was like a huge box, and it could take the humidity out of the air in the desert. And I was like, okay, is there any like liquids? But it is, and it transforms it to drinking water. So this could be a huge thing, I think. Yeah.
is there anything you're hoping for?
Of course.
Tons, lots.
No, I think it's good to see that so many people are thinking, are aware of the problem, and the more people are engaged in this field, the more we can all change. And I think it's necessary. The world is fucked up. Sorry, I have to say it. And it's still a long way. And the more people are thinking and talking about the problem, it only can get better if we do stuff like that.
Definitely. I have some fast, quick fire questions. Would you be able to do this? Okay, number one, nature or technology?
Nature?
Yeah, nature.
Digital or detox?
Should be a mixture, I think. But yeah, maybe digital.
Yeah, from time to time you need a detox spot, yeah.
More digital than detox.
Pre-loved or brand new?
What was the first one?
Pre-loved?
Actually, my whole outfit, it's pre-loved. From the shoes to the pants and the jacket, it's all wearing. It's all secondhand.
Awesome, and thank you for saying that, because I do think it's one of those things, people always say, I love secondhand, and then when you're on the awards, everybody is wearing their new little dress, and...
Yeah, what Jacob says.
Dreamer or realist?
Realist, I would say.
Yeah, realist.
Action or peace?
I mean, from time to time you need action to get peace. So, yeah, I think it's... In these days it's more about action, I think. Yeah.
Taking action.
Yeah, we need action, yeah.
Solo or team player?
Team player. I mean, we're in a band for like 20 years. So what kind of team
Really,
player?
it's been 20 years.
It's been 20 years. That means we're old, actually. Thanks.
Me too. Art or science?
Art.
I mean, science is pretty interesting too, I would say.
Planet Earth or outer space?
Planet Earth. It's the only one we have.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Planet
maybe
Earth.
we can save this one first and then go to outer space.
That's what I'm like, why are we talking about Mars populating Mars? I'm like, can we just talk about here for a second?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Let's stay on this planet. Yeah.
We just said art or science. In your scene of work, like in the artist's work, in the music world, do you see things happening which are giving you hope? Like, are things changing? Do you see system change? Are people taking action?
I think so. I mean, for example, Coldplay, they talked about like touring in a sustainable way years ago, and I think this year they are starting this kind of project, like with a dance floor where people are producing energy, or like on bikes, or I mean, maybe when you play in a stadium, you could do like a solar collecting system on the roof. I mean, there are plenty of options. Yeah. So yeah, this business, it will change a lot, I think.
Yeah, we try to do it in our way. What we can do, this summer we travel a lot with the train, and when it comes to our catering, we always ask for regional food. We don't need the fancy water from I don't know. So yeah, and also the merchandising. Our merchandising is from sustainable, yeah, and fair produced, and that's something we can do. Of course it's not perfect and it's still a way, but we try to do what we can.
I think the complication of our times is that you often don't even, there's such long distances and so many processes involved in the products we have and in the things that we do, that it becomes really, really complicated to actually, nail down all the facts about things. So I think the first step is to actually look at it, and then, you become closer and closer and closer every year. You try and perfect it.
But yeah, today is a good example. I mean, as I said, I was in the jury and I saw hundreds of projects. And when I was on my way home, on my train home, I felt a little bit better, because I thought, okay, there are so many good people on this planet thinking so many thoughts of like, how can I make this planet a little bit better, or like change things. And it gave me a good feeling. So yeah, this is the perfect place to be today.
Perfect. Then have fun and enjoy.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye. Take care. Danke. So we have our next guest here.
Good evening. Good evening.
First question: pre-loved or brand new?
This is well worn. So actually, pre-loved.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier for you men, I have to say.
That's true. Actually, that's true. There's my helmet, by the way. So I came on my motorcycle.
Is it E or normal?
No, it's still as of today it's normal. But this is one of my things that I'm really interested in. E-mobility, of course, and two things: bad time management and bad research. Bad research, I didn't know if the TXL was still up to this place, the bus, and the bad time management, I wouldn't have made it without my motorcycle today. So this is proof of concept, proof of bad concept, urban traffic systems. So yeah.
You've been here how many times? You remember?
This is my third.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I actually thought you were here more often. What is it that you, let's take one step forward, sorry.
Sure.
What is it that you actually enjoy about this award? Why are you here?
I had the pleasure, like the last time and today, to meet Nico and have a talk about it. And Nico, since he quit the Formula One, pretty much very fast found his, this new profession and being an entrepreneur and a visionary of some sort. And the things, under one roof, all of the new concepts about immobility, about nutrition, about our way of living, to be more humble with what we have, with our resources. This is pretty much the address to go to be honest. And the last year actually, because we skipped one, right?
No, last year
Was it last year? Last year. I learned a lot about in the award as well. So what the people all over the world are thinking about right now, and this unites us, to be honest. And this is what I love about the Green Tech Award and the Green Tech Festival.
What are you hoping for, in what sectors, or what are you hoping for to find today an e-motorcycle?
Yeah, well, I'm looking for a e-motorcycle actually. I found one.
How about hydrogen?
Hydrogen is, the proof of
It would be
concept
kind of
is
like Batman.
Yeah, well, I would be of some sort. No, actually, the last year there was the e-rocket. I remember. I think it was a Finnish company. I fell in love and I rode it and I love it, but didn't purchase so far. But the e-mobility is my thing actually, and nutrition as well.
So it's not only the award, you're actually going to go around, because there's a lot, for the people who haven't been here, you come in and then there's like stands everywhere where
You just browse, right? Yeah.
where you can actually go around, see innovative ideas, technologies, and eat great food and actually meet people and mingle. Are you also going to be there for the conference on the next 2 days?
Well, to be honest, I'm presenting the breakfast tally, and my alarm clock goes on at 2:57, so it might be.
So you could do a late night lunch hour.
That's pretty much my plan, to be honest.
Perfect. Well, looking forward to seeing you. Thank you
for
very
having me.
much.
Have a good one. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Now we're also going to see if we can get Elena Carrier, if we can get her. She's just talking to Bunte. As you can see, it's a wide variety of guests that we have here, and I think it's amazing that people are coming a bit earlier-ish. If you look at other big award ceremonies, often, obviously the last half an hour is always crowded on the carpet, but here we did start a bit earlier because people do want to see things. When you come in, you can really experience a lot of different things and walk around and get inspired, and I think it's really nice that people are aware of that and are actually looking forward to seeing and hearing about all these ideas and innovations. The girls are taking some more pictures, and then we're going to try and get her. Elena, can we also get you for a second? We're on a live stream. Hi. Thank you so much. Hello, nice to meet you and good to have you here. Can we take one step forward, because it's kind of hard with the sun today?
Sure, sure. Hello, how are you? Doing?
I'm good, thank you very much. Yes.
Smiling and smiling.
Yes.
That's actually what we are doing.
Exactly. And kind of squinching my eyes. That's the whole thing. But jokes aside, is this your first Green Award?
Mine, yes, actually. Yeah, I just heard that she already came.
Mine, no, it's my first time as well.
Nice.
So
Cool.
we're newbies and we are so excited for the whole thing.
I was just going to say, what is it you're looking forward to tonight?
Everything that's green and everything that makes the world greener.
Yeah, all the innovations tonight, I think. I mean, there's a reason why people get awarded tonight, right? And I think no matter who you are, it doesn't actually matter what job you're in. It's so inspiring to see in different kind of areas of work where people are being innovative. Because I wish I would be a bit more innovative, but let's see if we get some inspo.
I really hope so. I really, really hope so. We want to learn and we want to support.
In your personal life, what is something that you really wish for, where you just say, I wish somebody would do something where I could be like, awesome, I'll take that, and then, we could move on?
Easiest thing for me is just stop eating meat.
Just stop
now,
eating those
everyone,
animals.
just stop eating those animals.
Yeah.
It will save so many, it's the solution for so many problems if you just stop eating meat.
Or it's actually for people who that is very hard for, I think just start eating the good meat. It sounds easier, like if you really cannot stop, it's also something that many people, there's the radical decision, which is being vegan, like we decided for. But I do understand that for a lot of people, radical decisions just are not the thing. But so much is already helped if you stop eating mass production meat, because that's where the most pain lies, I think. And if you think about it, just to give a little bit of a weird vibe to people, by eating those animals, you are internalizing their pain and everything gross they have witnessed. So
Absolutely.
you don't want that in you.
I don't want this to become a part of my body.
Well,
And
it's
that's
also
just one small part of what's bad about it.
But it's also, I think it really shows this whole thing of our society of overconsumption, which goes meat for sure. If everybody would go back to once a week, we would already be so much further.
Like our grandparents' generation, that was actually good. They didn't have a lot. They had good meat. It wasn't a supermarket generation.
They value it more. They eat it less.
Same, a big sector also, which concerns you guys, is fashion.
I mean, we work in fashion, and there are lots of things that need to be done now.
What would be like an innovation there? I know it's a huge topic at the moment. More and more companies are trying to switch. But again, it's a sector where it's really hard because you have so many steps along the way. But what is something where you say, like personally, if you ask me, being in the fashion industry, why don't we just do this and this? Like, to me, that would seem like a simple idea which could already change a lot.
Just don't buy the cheap shit. Same with meat. Just if you buy it once, it's same with meat. It's probably okay, but don't buy the cheap shit. It's produced by kids. It's fast fashion. Just avoid fast fashion. Try to not buy it so they won't produce it.
No fast fashion. Let's go back to the good old slow days. Stop TikTok, stop all the fast shit. Let's just go back to reading books and just eating
the whole year,
eating what we grow outside.
Don't change your outfit every day, though. Just wear it twice.
It is kind of fun, though.
No.
Well, it's kind of like the showering question. Depends where you live, or if you stand here for 2 hours, then it's like, please shower and put on a new shirt. No, I'm kidding. Can I ask you some quick fire questions?
Oh, fire questions.
Fire away.
Yeah.
Ready? Nature or technology?
Sure, of course.
Digital?
Yeah.
Digital or detox?
Detox.
Look at you. Pre-loved or brand new?
Pre-love.
What?
Pre-loved.
Pre-loved?
Pre-loved, like second hand.
Or brand? I thought we were talking about love. Oh well.
I mean, we love pre-loved.
Spoiler. Okay, I didn't actually. I thought we were talking about love, like
no,
partners.
No pre-loved love, but pre-loved clothes.
Okay. I'm like, what has love to do with it? But okay, yeah.
Dreamers or realists?
Dreamers.
Yeah.
At the moment, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I wish I would be more like a dreamer, to be honest.
It's phases.
Yeah.
I think. No.
Solo or team player?
Team player. Let's try to.
Solo.
Art or science?
Science.
Interesting. Really?
What?
You're more science.
Best? You're more. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Planet Earth or outer space?
Planet Earth. For sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I hope you have a really good night.
Thank you.
Get inspired.
Yes.
And then take action. No, and then take action. No, but seriously, find some people and go, go, go.
Thank you, love.
Thank you. Slowly, well, Nico's here in sparkling, well, it's not white, it's off-white, but he does look like the white knight coming along the green carpet, so we're going to be very excited to talk to him in a second. The sun is still out, as you can see, but it's beautiful. It's amazingly big here at Tegel, I have to say. It's huge this year, and there's a lot of people showing their stuff. We've got entire tents built up behind the camera. Maybe we can do a swirl at the end of this just so you can see how big this whole event is this year. It's not only the award, it's the Congress, which is going to be going on for 2 days. But, alone to seat 850 people, you kind of get the gist how big this award ceremony is tonight. 5 categories, 5 prizes. Just for everybody who's switched in right now, are going to be are going to be given out on stage today. Stephen Gätchen is moderating, and we obviously have a lot of different people here, from engineers to starlets to great people from the business world. We have a lot of people from the banking sector. There's really a great turnout of very, very different people from very different sectors who are all coming out because they want to be inspired and they want to hear what people have to say, what people have thought of, and who hope for a new solution for their problems and a solution for us all to change for the better. So we're still waiting, but they're going to be there in a second. Just to give you a little heads up, back there. Moose Tea is also arriving back there, if you can like see it at the beginning of the carpet. So it's really filling up inside now. Yay! Thank you so much for being here.
Machen wir Englisch oder Deutsch?
English. I just said you looked like the white knight coming down the green carpet.
Oh, that's a compliment. Thank you so much because it was a bit of a risk. So
No, it's not at all. It looks really good. And thank you for wearing this as well.
thank you very much. This is important, and I actually forgot it. But we have a very senior person from the United Nations here, and I just saw her before, and so she gave it to me and said, "Nico, here you go."
Would you explain for a second what this is? Because I think a lot
Yeah.
of people
So
don't know.
so this is our Healthy Future Goals, our Sustainable Development Goals, which unfortunately in Germany we don't know so much, but in the world they're very prominent. This is the United Nations goals that we have to go for. 2030 we have to cut emissions by half, 2050 zero emissions. But it's not only about climate change. Yeah, it's also about equality. It's about water scarcity. It's about our oceans, in industries. You know, it's about everything. That's why there's 17 of them, and we need to reach every one of those goals for a healthy future for the next generations, and that's what we're here to do tonight.
Exactly. We have 5 different sectors. I was just continuously saying that the amazing thing is that there's so many different sectors and so many different people who have ideas and innovations for all sorts of problems at the moment, because we have a ton of them. What is it you're looking forward to the most tonight?
Well, you're talking about innovations. We have a company over there that's called Fantor from Austria, and they have put a container there. Okay, the container is layered up with solar panels on the roof, and with that solar energy, they take out the air and harvest the humidity from the air and can produce up to 10,000 liters of water per day. Which that's incredible, isn't it? And these innovations really can change the world for the better if they manage to scale it, you know, and make it more affordable. So it's incredible, and there's many examples like this tonight here, and that's what's so awesome, and that's what I'm very proud about.
That's kind of my next point, though. I think, you know, we're talking a lot about this, or the world has been talking about this for a long time. The last 15 years, you know, everybody said we have to do something about climate change. Biodiversity is going down. We've had this award for a while. There's amazing innovations and technologies, which are every year you're kind of like blown away and you think, hey, problem solved. You know, if you look at all these people, here we go. You know, what's our problem? But how do we get from like looking at things, from inventing to actually getting into action, to actually having these innovations, these ideas, these technologies out there? I know a big part is, you know, obviously publicity, and that's what we're trying to do here. But you're also an investor, seeing kind of how this world is changing. What are your experiences? How can we get companies to actually start up? How can we get technologies actually on the market, out there, and in the houses or lives of people?
Unfortunately, it's different things that need to come together. It's first of all our own mindset, that we want it, all of us together, that we're convinced. That's one important thing. So it's shifting our mindsets, you know, and getting us to understand and love our planet so much that we all want to help and make progress. You know, that's one step. Then comes governments. Where they have to, if we shift our mindset, they're going to be pushed as well because they need to keep us happy to change and make progress. You know, so this is happening as well now. Then also in the economy, it needs to be possible to create profitable business models in climate change and focused companies. You know. And also that it's making progress now because the demand is rising, and so it's like a spiral, and we need to spiral it upwards, and that's happening now. Of course, it's not going fast enough, but it's happening. So I'm very positive. Yeah.
And you think it has to go on a political, or like I always feel like they have to make some statements, otherwise, you know, it's not going to continue on the business sector, or do you think that's other way
No. I mean, yeah, of course, the politics have so much power, but it's also, I mean, it's also then funding that they set free to innovate, and for startups and everything. Where in Germany, for example, that's a weakness that we have. In the US, they always have a much larger allocation from pension funds and insurance funds to be able to fund these really like powerful ideas. In Germany, we're still struggling with that. So I'm hoping our new finance minister, Christian Lindner, he said that the day he becomes finance minister, he's going to try and push forward that topic to allow for more allocation to these high-risk ideas, but which can be so impactful. So let's see. I'm speaking to him tomorrow because he's going to be here. Yeah. Christian Lindner is coming to see us, which is very proud. I mean, we're proud. So I'll ask him tomorrow and give him another push.
The award started here in Germany. Now you're in London and New York as well. Why?
Because to have a real impact, it really helps if you go to the people and don't expect everybody from the whole world to come to Berlin. So by going to London, we really engage the whole UK market and the people that are there. By going to the US, Singapore, Asia, so powerful there, and especially Singapore, emerging markets there's a huge problem there. And whilst we're making progress here, very often the emerging markets are left behind. So to go there, close to the emerging markets that are in Asia, Southeast Asia, it's just a way of accelerating our impact. That's what we're about. So we try.
Thank you very, very much, and have an amazing night.
Thanks so much for every year doing such awesome talks here pre-award show.
No, thank you for getting this whole thing running. So continue on, and let's hope we get a lot of publicity and a lot of ideas out there. So that was Nico Rossmann. He's, running around, obviously, because he's now one of the founders here. He's really going to try and get this award on the show. They're going international, so this is really blowing up, and we really hope that we can get more people connected and more ideas out there through going international and through making this bigger and getting a bigger audience. Let's see who else is coming. We have the founders at the beginning of the carpet. You see Marco Vogt and Sven Krüger and Nico all together for pictures. Back and forth. Yay! Yoo-hoo! Moose tea, great, in green.
Yes, good to see you.
We're English today.
Not too bad, right?
No, this is amazing, but I love the green suit.
Thank you so much. Guess why?
I don't know. What is it you're looking forward to tonight?
Well,
except for your music, obviously.
Obviously. I mean, as you know, or maybe you remember, last year was my first time. And since then I'm hooked. It's a beautiful event with a beautiful cause and very modern-minded people. And that's what I love. And I think we're going to take it to the next level tonight.
Is there anything you took from last year? Because what I'm kind of looking for at the moment is, there's so many ideas out there, so many innovations. How can we get them into action? Is there something you took from last year where you really say, hey, I actually took that, or I actually bought that, or I'm actually thinking about installing that, or you know what I mean?
I think the main idea which I took is networking. Like-minded people being together, exchanging ideas, and whether you get the latest gadget where you can, be a better person or be sustainable and all that stuff. It's probably not about that. It's like networking and getting real big stuff on the next level. That's what I took from this.
And it's also about, reaching out to people and getting more people to talk about the problem, but also about the solutions. Right. And it's kind of like, how do we build up pressure? Like, do we do it through the free press? Do we do it through social media? What is your gist on that?
I mean, again, I think the beautiful thing is you have a lot of big players here, and if they connect, if they network, I think we're going to get to places so much faster than probably even working with politics and stuff like that. That's, I think, the beauty of this.
Who or what sector would you like to change? Is there something where you're personally like, it just drives me nuts? Can somebody please invent something?
Well, obviously, I'm coming from the music industry, and I would love it. There's a lot of stuff happening in the music industry, but all the kind of all the branches attached. like to the entertainment, like for instance traveling, flying, and all that stuff. I think there's a lot which has to be done, and a lot of innovations which we desperately need because artists need to travel, and we want to make that more sustainable.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
And I can't wait to hear you tonight.
Thank you so much. Thank you. See you later.
Danke, bis gleich. That was Moose Tea, and we're hoping to have Celine here in a second. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to talk to each other later on. I'm Nina. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Looking forward to meet you in the crowd later on.
Exactly. We just have a live stream going from the green carpet. So the big question, first of all, is this your first Green Award?
No, it's my second time already.
And why do you come back?
Well, for me, it's about all the inspiring ideas. So, I mean, this whole evening gala, of course, is amazing. But to be honest, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow because tomorrow all the startups, all the, ideas come up and it's great to talk to all the founders also for me. And that's for me literally why I come here, yeah.
You're actually coming from the tech sector more. Is that correct, to say, or is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay to say, yeah.
What is it in the tech sector which either inspires you or what you're hoping for? When you meet people here where you're like, please, I keep seeing this problem. Can somebody start doing something about ...
Well, for me personally, what fascinates me about technology is that you can find solutions that really scale. It's about making big changes, and that's what's so fascinating. It's not about making, a wheel a little better, but actually coming up with things that can solve, the climate crisis, or it can solve, a food crisis, or whatever crisis. So it's about the real big problems in the world, and that's what fascinates me about technology, because this is what can solve it, yeah.
Do you have a positive example, just something that where you said, in the last year, I talked about this or I saw this and it really inspired me, and it's one of those examples where things are happening and are actually really changing?
Yes, definitely. I recently invested in a company that's called the Tomorrow University, and it's actually to bring all this education around sustainability, about future trends to the people, which means to corporate managers, but as well to students, because there is no dedicated university yet only offering sustainability courses. So this is actually already an accredited university, and I think that's the most important thing, to educate people about all these projects. So that's why I invested, and that's a solution, an example that I believe in, yes.
No, and it's a huge topic, because I do believe that, climate change is kind of one of those topics everybody's like, oh yeah, climate change, and you think but if you actually start asking people for details, everybody's kind of like, it's kind of about CO2, and then you start struggling.
And it's hard to explain, isn't it? I mean, it's such a complex topic, and I think there are also so many information around, and so many different experts saying different things in some cases even. So it's also not that easy to get it as a whole, yeah.
But it could be. I mean, just the gist
that's
of it.
What we're here for.
Exactly. And I think that's why it's so important, like you say, to educate people, because we just, the gist of it, there's no argument, it exists. And scientists are totally on board about it.
It does not exist.
No, but no scientist says that. There's no scientist.
That's a politician. We know him. Yeah.
But it's exactly, no, and the frustrating thing is that you have talk shows where you then have people who get invited who represent the side of it doesn't exist. Yes. And you're just like, what? It's kind of as if...
Is it even possible?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing, and it kind of shows you that also journalists and media makers obviously haven't taken that step yet. They're not there yet. They're not educated enough.
Yes, you're right. But you're doing actually quite a good thing. You're vegan, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about it. What's in your fridge?
What's in my fridge? Well, I think actually that is the first big step, or the big problem is that when you change your diet in a way, or I did this 7 years ago or something, you always have some go-to items at home, or some meals that you cook. And you kind of have to change those. So, for instance, I used to always have mozzarella cheese in my fridge. Now I have hummus. And it actually, it works in a lot of ways, which sounds weird, but you have to still have your little quick go-to meals that you can just throw together. And there's some very simple ones, or a good vegan butter, so you can still have that bread or toast or whatever. So I think there's a couple of those things that you just have to find for yourself. tofu. I never used tofu before, I have to say. Before I went vegan, I was kind of like, fair enough, if I went to an Asian restaurant, I'd have, because I was a vegetarian, I'd have a tofu curry, but I never really did anything with it.
Me neither, to be honest. So what do you need? Like chili, ingwer, or ginger, or is there anything in specific I need?
I love that. I love the no fish sauce is amazing, and soy sauce. Those are two things I never had in my fridge. I love ahornsirup, which is amazing. You can throw it on everything. Chickpeas, lentils. I never cooked lentils before. Lentils are very fast. You can make amazing pasta sauces, and they don't really have a big taste thing. So actually most people love the sauce. They don't even realize, and you get a lot of protein and a lot of fiber, so they're amazing.
Cool. Yeah, well, this is my first learning today. That's great. Thank you very much, Nina.
Yes, and welcome. Meet you later on. I was just going to say, good to see you later. Bye. Thank you. So we'll see who else is coming. I think we're slowly coming to the end of this. People are walking inside. Hi. So great to have you here. That's amazing. We're just doing a live stream. So this is your first Green Tech Award, right?
Yes, yes.
What are you looking forward to tonight?
A lot of things. I'm also one of the nominees in a category, the youngster category, so I'm really looking forward to what happens.
I'm already fangirling. That's why I was like, oh, cool that you're here. Because I obviously saw you, and I think it's one of the most inspiring categories because there's such amazing people from all around the world which have these crazy, wonderful ideas and things that they do. Could you actually now tell our live stream what you're doing?
Yes, so my project is based on charcoal-based ironing, and though it may not sound really familiar since not everyone does it, in India it's a really normal sight to see. So metal conducts heat, and charcoal...
One step closer because of the sun.
Yes, charcoal actually helps use that heat to iron clothes, and in the process causing pollution, deforestation, and even respiratory diseases. So to prevent all of this, I came up with a sustainable solar-powered alternative which can currently prevent 50 million kilograms of charcoal being burnt every day.
Which is absolutely amazing. We looked at it in the jury and we were really, really impressed. Are you going to stay for the Congress on the next 2 days as well?
Yes, I might be coming. I'm also speaking tomorrow, so yes.
There you go. Well, perfect. It's been a pleasure to meet you. All the best of luck for later on. I think it would be amazing if you would get the award. And it's wonderful to have you here. Thank you for doing what you do.
Thank you. It's great.
Thank you. Yeah, I do think that's actually the most inspiring category is the youngsters, because it's insane what like 16-year-olds or 14-year-olds are already doing, and they're taking action, they're taking the initiative, and they're changing the world. And that's something that I'm just like, I don't know, I've just turned 40 and I'm so frustrated that I don't even have half the go that these people had. So it's incredibly inspiring to meet them. You should really check it out. Also online on our website, you can look at all the nominees, obviously, not only the winners, so you can really get an overview of the projects that are nominated today and the people who are behind them. So please check it out, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again next year or tonight at the big award show. Bye. Take care.